Once you easily recognize the patterns of behavior, then you can go about doing something to just remove them. To give you an example, like the unrealistic expectations that are thrust upon you by society that you have to meet or surpass, because you don't, you fall short of these goals or hopes or aspirations or ideals or concepts that you have or visions and dreams that you're really aiming for, and you fall short of that goal. So that makes you angry. You take that anger, you internalize it. Then it causes you to revert right back to you going into those same patterns and habits of, you know, referring right back to your addictions and your obsessions and your cyclical routines and your obsessive compulsive self-destructive behaviors again. And that just makes you even angrier. And then you feel like you're making yourself even more stuck than before, when it doesn't have to be this way. I'm speaking from experience too, so I'm not exempt from this at all. Nobody really is. But what I've noticed is it's just a pattern. So what happens is when you're right at the brink of getting ready to move in your life physically or financially or whatever it is, the universe will just keep bombarding you with these things to test you. And you'll get overwhelmed. It'll just be just so consuming that you'll be preoccupied with, why is this not working? How come I'm failing? Everything I'm doing isn't panning out. Every single thing that I try and I attempt, I just get shot down. This isn't going the way I had planned it to go. Things of this nature. So the universe is going to keep doing it to you until you not become that person anymore and you not react that way. So when you just say, oh, yeah, listen, it's cool, and you just don't even give it any energy anymore, that's when it's going to stop. Because you are the catalyst of it. You're basically perpetuating it, and you're the one that's giving it life. And you're in a room by yourself, and all of this is happening in your head, and none of it's happening in the outside, reality that surrounds you. It's all just made up stuff. That's why human beings are the only species that can be put in an empty room and manifest nothing but problems, and then feed them, and then become a victim to succumbing to these illusions. And again, I'm not exempt from that. I've done that many times. Why is it that I have a good heart and this and this and that? And, it seems like evil people get rewarded. Good people, like they say, only the good die young. Good guys finish last. It doesn't pay to be nice. None of that's true. That's just conditioning you to become like them. That's why a lot of people just go, what the F? Who cares? I'm just going to just take the shortcut and just, become a murderous thief and a rapist pedophile, and, I'll be a billionaire. And that's what they do. They just don't want to be decent because they never were to begin with. They're just actually pretending. And then when it comes time for push come to shove, they just go right to their true nature. Well, I know there's a lot of people in this world like myself that are not like that. So I notice a pattern. When I try, sometimes things are really great. They get great. They come just quick. And I'm like, oh, I like this. Let's do this again. And then all of a sudden it just stops. It's just like this intermittent type thing. The universe is like playing games with you. And, I know for one, I don't appreciate it. I know that if I do all my work and I'm doing everything I'm supposed to and putting the time and the energy and the effort and doing all the research and, doing all the physical actions and everything, it's not that I'm looking to be rewarded. Just, don't block me from what's rightfully mine. That's how I feel. If you've done all the work and you're entitled to this thing that you have earned, without any assistance or anything. I mean, of course, the universe is always helping you, but you've done all the work. It isn't like you're asking for help or anything like that. You put it in, you've done everything you can do. And now wait a minute, you're coming up empty, coming up short. Wait, I don't understand this. I put all this time and energy and I don't see anything yielding from my efforts. I don't understand it because the universe is testing you. Because you fail to realize that this is just an illusion, this whole thing, and you've taken it serious. You're taking it way too far as you thinking that it's reality and you have to strive to become something in their system and all of these things. And we get lost in that stuff. We tend to get lost in the moments of these things and they become reality. Then we become frustrated and aggravated. And then we start, experiencing grief and worry and suffering and heartache and sorrow and problems. And all of these things are illusions. Grief is momentary. Worrying is a wasted emotion. Suffering is voluntary. Problems are illusions. I've said it a million times and I have to keep reminding myself because I'm in the same boat. Especially these days with them putting heavy metals in the food and the water or the air, and they're hooking you up to these towers and these satellites, these microwave towers, and they affect you adversely. It's a known fact. I don't follow science or the medical field, but I can tell you right now, in 1971, the U.S. Naval Institute did a research study about the adverse effects of microwave radiation on human beings, and it's a conclusive result. It's a conclusive finding that absolutely microwaves do indeed adversely and detrimentally affect human beings across the board. So that's what this heaviness is in the air, especially after the eclipse. You know they're up to some stuff that they're not going to televise, of course not. But nonetheless, my thing is that I find that once I tend to try to lean towards the old crutch, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to keep pigeonholing myself into, stymieing and stifling my progress, because I'm just being a fool by doing this. I'm falling into the trap again. Because you get frustrated, because their system is always based around one thing: money. If you don't have money, you're going to have a hard life. If you do have money, you'll have an easy life. Like with the rent system, the way it's designed. Back in my day when I was a kid, you just saw an ad in a classified, you answered it, rent, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, like, $600, utilities included. That's it. And you just gave the landlord the 1-month deposit, 1-month security, whatever it was, certified bank tells check, pull some money out, or cash, whatever. Sometimes they would accept a personal check. But now, fast forward 2024, they want your application based on your income with your credit score. And that's done by design. So the minimum of what they're asking is you have to make 3 times the monthly rent per month. So in other words, if the rent is $3,000, you have to be making more than $9,000 a month just to cover that, and then you have to have a high credit score. So they do this in order to keep you homeless. That's the plan. That's why they're paying $10 an hour jobs before taxes, but the rent is $3,000 a month. You'll clearly see what they're up to. So this tends to make people exceedingly more and more frustrated and aggravated and disgusted. And it becomes something of a pattern that they follow, where they internalize that negativity, I myself included, and then you start reverting to things that are sort of coping or, comfort mechanisms. Some people drink alcohol, smoking, video games, sex, or whatever it is, watching violent movies. I don't know what people's vices are. I have no idea. But, that's what it is. And then you get angry with yourself. You ruin your day. It's like a big eclipse and a heavy weight on you, like smothering you. And it doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't. No matter what the weather is outside, you can always be sunshine and smiles in your heart. And I'm not talking about a phony smile plastered to your face, like most of these disingenuous people have. I'm talking about something substantial. Just to know that, look, I'm smarter than this. I'm not going to get fooled. I'm not going to get pulled in or duped. I'm not going to play the game. I know what I need to do, and I'm going to just keep being determined and diligent, dedicated, loyal, and devoted to this thing until it happens. And I'm not going to recognize this world unless it shows me my dreams. That's basically all you can do. And just keep forging ahead. Don't give up. As cliche as that sounds, do not give up. Persistence, consistency, determination, diligence, structure, order. You have to have a plan. If something feels wrong, don't go with it. Even if the universe offers you a plan and you don't like it, don't take it. Because you don't know what voices are whispering to you. It's like it could pretend to be God. Just go move to that place and everything's going to work out. Knowing that if you do that, it'll just cause catastrophe and disaster in your life. So it's very disconcerting for people to place their faith and trust in something they can't see and something that isn't being specific. Just, a couple of quick whispers and you're supposed to just go off, cross country and just plant yourself somewhere where there's nothing secure or stable or set up. So you have to be cautious with these things. You don't know what voices are talking to you. You have to go with your intuition. If it feels wrong, don't do it. That's it. And just keep doing your work until you see things chisel away and then fall into place. That's it. Because this world is something else, I'll tell you, especially the way the system is designed to favor the few at the detriment of the many. Absolutely. It's not in your head. You're not imagining it. You're not crazy. There's a lot of us in that boat, brothers and sisters. I'm telling you straight. It isn't just you. Good people always suffer in this world. And I don't mean suffering meaning voluntary. I mean being at the hands of those who are behind the knobs and switches in the control room, making people's lives deliberately unbearable because they get off on it. And also, that's the buffer that the rich have, which is gives them that 1% upper, status classification, which is nonsense anyway. But that buffer comes at the expense at the people who don't have that much money. It's always been that way. If you look at Nesara and Gesara, that's Nesara and Gesara. These were supposed to be like debt forgiveness and abolishing taxes and all that, but George W. Bush, the father, I think it's Herbert Walker Bush, the father, he struck it down. He was like, no way, because that would have benefited everybody. And the fact that the Vatican has hundreds of quintillions of dollars, that's 18 zeros, they can easily eradicate homelessness and hunger around the planet in one day. But they're not unleashing that coffer. It's all done by design. Just like the stock market and real estate and the job market, it's all artificially induced volatility. They do it deliberately just to, make you suffer and struggle. They will never let you get anywhere near where they are. So when people are exposed to this and have to be forced to, be the recipients of this type of unfair, lopsided system, it gets not only discouraging, but it gets infuriating, and it enrages people and makes them sick. So they take it out on themselves, or unfortunately they take it out on others, which is really bad as well. But my message before I end the video is that you have the power. You don't have to fall into the trap. You can't let your anger cause a weakness, which is like a loophole for them to punch right through your sovereignty and knock you right out of existence into the darkness. Tumble, down you go, and then you can't get back up because you can't see your way out. So just keep a level head, keep your feet on the ground, and just keep moving forward. Just keep moving. No matter what this world shows you, just say, I don't care what this place shows me. Until it shows me my dreams, I'm not going to pay attention. I don't care what people say, what the situations or the circumstances are dictating and defining. This situation does not define me, and this circumstance does not, define me. I'm going to define myself. Not by my situation or my circumstance, but by my individuality and my presence and my own identity of what I want that to be. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, we are all a work in progress. Be well.